Hello, James. It was really great to meet you in the Fund 1 of Project Catalyst, and now we are in Fund 2. I would be happy to speak about your proposal. And firstly, it's interesting to ask about your background and how you discovered Cardano, how you joined this ecosystem.
Thanks, Andre. And it's been so fun getting to know you a little bit throughout Fund 1 and Fund 2. My name is James. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I've been an educator. I taught high school math in New York City and in Worcester, Massachusetts for 11 years before leaving the classroom to start working with teachers to help them improve their practice. And over the last 5 years, I've spent a lot of time teaching teachers how to use technology. And a lot of the times I'll meet teachers who are, who might not feel very comfortable embracing new technology in their classroom, or maybe it pushes them to change their practice a little bit. And I've been thinking about that a lot over the last 3 years. So 3 years ago, I think like a lot of other people, I heard about Cardano for the first time. Of course, I watched Charles's OG whiteboard video when it first came out, and that absolutely kind of changed my life and made me say, all right, yeah, like this is the project I'm going to pay the most attention to. And watching Cardano, I've been thinking about all these experiences of supporting teachers because we have the very same work to do here with Cardano. It's not just about handing people software, handing people a tool and saying, here, go use this. We have to show people maybe different ways of thinking or viewing the world or even conceiving of problems so that they can understand what this big, incredible software platform is capable of.
And how did you find out about Project Catalyst in the beginning?
I watched Door present at the Shelley Summit at the start of July, and that was, I mean, honestly, that might have been the most excited I was for any presentation.
What's your overall experience with Fund 1? Did you have the proposal there? I know that you had, but let's...
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude that I got to be part of that community. I'm sure you have kind of a similar feeling. I mean, where to start? I mean, right, there was this group of people coming together, not really knowing exactly how the tech worked or what our task was. And we just dove in, we started creating proposals, having conversations about them. The first time you and I talked, it was because we noticed some alignment between our proposals, right? And so to be in a place where you can be sharing ideas in a way that exposes you to new collaborators who can help you both to refine your own ideas, push your ideas to new directions, but also help you realize new things that you weren't thinking of in the first place. It's just unbelievable. So, I mean, of course, from a proposer perspective, I threw a proposal in to Fund 1, got some great feedback on it, had some great conversations coming out of that. And that doesn't even tell half the story, right? Because then beyond my own proposal, we had so many conversations about how Catalyst should work. What's the fairest way to talk about proposals and make sure the right ones get funded. And obviously that's still a work in progress, right? We're not going to get it all right the first time. And so we continue to be this growing community of people who are figuring stuff out together.
Yeah, and what about reviews? Did you get good reviews on the Fund 1 proposal?
To be honest, yeah, it was great. I got great reviews. I got 5 stars, and it felt really good to see my my proposal getting traction. And listen, there's going to be plenty of public conversation about how to best run reviews, right? And one of the missions of Cardano is to disintermediate, right? To cut out the middleman. And there's this question of whether expert reviewers are going to serve as intermediaries of a sort, right? That's a hard problem that we have to work on the technical solution, and I'm not sure what the best one is yet. But we also have to, as a community, figure out this distinction between experts and kind of parasitic middlemen, right? And I think it's going to be easy to dismiss experts as this, but they're not. Those are not the same thing. And this problem has an analog in society, right? I mean, I can't speak for how the pandemic has been approached in Ukraine, but I know that here in the United States, there's a lot of distrust among everybody, right? So you'll get this person saying they're an expert, but that person saying don't trust that person. And I don't know what the answer is, but I'm hoping that catalyst maybe can serve as an example to push us in the right direction, right? If we can get better at distinguishing between experts and intermediaries, maybe then we can tell the rest of the world about that and grow from there.
Yeah, I think in a way this might be solved for voting for experts. So because expert, it's, even though just today was just recently a second town hall, and it's announced it's possible to register as an reviewer for the Fund 2. And it was announced that there are some requirements that the person should not be the proposer and should be registered in Catalyst by today's date. Mm-hmm. But there are like many people who are there. I think like for future, and especially when the amount of funds for the Project Catalyst will grow, the rewards for reviewers also will grow. It will attract a lot of people. So basically, maybe voting for experts by the same app, Project Catalyst app, it might be a good decision. Because
right. But this is another place where any number of things could go wrong, right? And maybe the question is like, how do we maximize how many people are happy with this? Because you're not going to get 100% of people, right? And so to begin by thinking about what pushback would we get if we did have a vote for experts? What are kind of the arguments against that? And I think we can, if people like you and me come together to have the debate about everything that could be wrong with that, even though I think I'm for that idea, right? I think I would be willing to elect experts. But I know that could be complicated.
Yeah, and also we need to say that these reviews, they don't decide the fate of proposal, because the voters will decide. And it's interesting to watch for Fund 1. I think it's still limited data was to see the influence of the reviewers' reviews for the fate and the actual voting. What about your proposal voting? How it was? How was the experience? And were you funded?
I was funded with fake ADA for now, and so I hope that translates into real ADA. But I think one of the most important things to always recognize is that it's much harder to build quality relationships that are going to be there for a long time than to get the money that's going to get you through tomorrow. And Catalyst is, there's plenty of arguments still to come about how we best use the funds, but no matter what, we all get these relationships out of this, right? I mean, what kind of conversations are you and I going to be having 3 years from now, 4 years from now, right? And to me, that's obviously we all need to make a living, and hopefully that happens. That'd be great. But these relationships are priceless.
Yeah, because in a way we are all allies, because our interest is that the Cardano and cryptocurrencies in general will grow. But in a way, as proposers, we are competitors because the number of ADA is limited. For this fund two, it's 250,000 worth of $250,000 in ADA, and there's like really a lot of competition because there are a lot of proposals.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I need to say that in fund one, I read all the proposals, but now I can't say. So,
I know.
what about you?
Same exact thing. I know, and I take such pride in commenting on people's proposals, but it's hard. And I think this is another thing that generalizes, right? As a Cardano community, it's been possible to kind of know all the people who contribute, and to be able to like make a mental model of the entire Cardano ecosystem. Those days are over already, right? That we're now to the point where people are specializing here, working on this angle, that angle, right? That there's going to be experts on Atala Prism who maybe never interact with Plutus, right? And we're all going to find out our different abilities to bring our expertise to the table, and then come together and watch the whole form. But yeah, I would like to one day not be a proposer, so I can really. There's been a few just outstanding people inside of Catalyst who have been so thoughtful and so consistent in getting into the proposals. I know that Utah got a shout out in the town hall today for making the spreadsheets, like kind of showing a breakdown of the different proposals. I made a comment to Utah on Telegram saying, hey, like I'm not totally sure if you categorized my proposal right. And he wrote back within minutes to quote not just my proposal, but the attached document, right? So this guy, he wasn't just going through and skimming the names and the funding amounts for these things. I think he might have read every proposal, and to build this spreadsheet. That's the level of commitment we're seeing here. What's Dan's last name? A guy named Dan has been commenting really well. Greg Pendlebury's been commenting a lot of people's proposals. So it's just really cool. And this is the kind of thing that people need to know in future rounds. Even if they don't have an idea, they can show up, read people's proposals, and contribute in a really meaningful way to the work that's happening here.
Yeah, I hope I will reach to Utah, and maybe we'll make an interview with him.
That'd be awesome.
And
Great.
Right now there's like a lot of information on Project Catalyst, but what's your opinion for people who are involved or who want to be involved? Where to focus? Idea Scale, Discord, Telegram groups, some other sort
of... great question. I mean, I'm as a teacher, I believe in going straight to the source, right? Don't believe what anybody tells you. Go to the Cardano Idea Scale page, create an account. A lot of people have said on other medium that there's a barrier to entry on Idea Scale, or it's not easy to use. Hey, if you want to participate, figure out how to use Idea Scale. Get in there and read the proposals, right? This is what we must do to create this form of democracy. You can't rely on somebody to tell you on Twitter what's going on with the proposals, right? Once you do read some proposals, sure, go to Discord and try to find people to talk to and maybe even contribute to those things. But yeah, to be really frank, I think it's irresponsible to even have an opinion on this stuff without ever going into Idea Scale and reading the proposals for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. I agree. And also, I think it's important to add that well, in Fund 1, we had a lot of discussions on the idea scale itself. Many people were not so happy. We thought about some alternatives. And I personally also thought that if there is already app, a Project Catalyst app, that there could be like a separate either app or engine site for this process. But now it seems that idea scale is something which will stay. So building the reputation, even if somebody wants to submit proposal in half a year or in few months, but coming, checking what's going on, what people are discussing, what skills, maybe what people for the teams are needed. I think it's a good place to do.
That's really good advice. I've never thought about it that way before, but you're exactly right. Yeah, if you have an idea for 6 months from now, start now. Build your reputation, get to know people, get a lay of the land. I love that idea.
Let's talk a little bit about your proposal. What is it about? Can you tell like basic details, like which amount of ADA are you requesting?
Yeah, totally.
Because some people who watch this video, they are maybe even not from the Cardano community. So I'm sharing it on crypto blogs, and it's interesting for everyone to know.
Yeah. So I'm actually in the process of refining my proposal, not pivoting completely, but kind of focusing its target audience, and also like changing the budget a little bit, and I think even collaborating, maybe even joining two proposals together. So it's been exciting.
Proposals.
No, another fellow I met on Idea Scale, he and I are kind of talking about, hey, like where do our proposals meet right now? And I think in terms of local Cardano hubs, you and I have a lot more conversations ahead too, to be helping each other out and building these things. But as it stands right now, my proposal is called Cardano Starter Kits. And the idea is to have project-based learning opportunities that help people put their hands on what Cardano is offering, right? I know personally in my own life, I've been around for 3 years now, and I still have a hard time explaining to my friends and my family exactly what Cardano is, right? And I think the best thing we can do is provide people with experiences so that they're able to say, oh, I see it now. I'm starting to have my own ideas for what problems this solves, okay? So this goes in a couple different directions. One is that, for people who have never interacted with a cryptocurrency, who have never thought about what blockchain is, and certainly have not heard of Cardano, I want to create events and experiences that people can participate in, having some kind of new experience out in the real world, and then saying, oh, I didn't know that was possible before, right? And we all, any of us who were alive to watch the internet go online, we had these experiences too, right? Wait, I can send music to a friend who lives on the other side of the world? In a second I can do that? Wait a minute, what, right? Like these are things that change your view of what's possible, right? And a lot of apps are going to come out that help people do that. Development work is absolutely essential. And what my proposal is saying is, alongside of all that work, we need to be on the ground in communities, talking to people who don't have time to do all the research that you do and that I do, right? And who just want to be able to say, hey, what's in it for me? As a person in my community, is this going to make my life any better? As a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a restaurant owner, what can this do for me?
Different messages for different segments of people.
That's right. And so what I'm most excited about, what's going to be new to my revised proposal when we have it up by next week, I really want to focus on Cardano enthusiasts and ADA holders who aren't really sure what their role in the community is. You see a lot of these people on Reddit, on Twitter. You know, I love Cardano, but I'm not a stake pool operator. I'm not a developer, and I don't really know how to contribute. What starter kits are going to do is give people like that different ways to go into their communities and start conversations, either by hosting a fundraiser for whatever local cause they want, by hosting an event, hey, by knocking on the door of City Hall and starting a conversation with local politicians, right? These are all the things that all of us can do, and all of us have our own networks. We have the skills that we bring to the table from whatever our prior experiences are. And so that's really who I want to focus on with the next few starter kits, and then ask people to start contributing, right? So if you grab one of these and you run it in Kiev, you would then be able to share back with the community, hey, I tried this starter kit, here's what went well, here's what sucked about it, and here's what I would do differently next time, right? And then you can share that, and all together, we can learn in the same way that open source software develops.
Yeah, so in case your proposal is successful, so Cardano community members, they can come to you and say, hey, we need a starter kit like for this.
That's right. Oh, to be able to request, people will be able to, I mean, hopefully it's not going to be just me, right? Soon enough, we're going to have a network of people creating these things, and an invitation and instructions for people to create their own. But yeah, also to lean on the people who have tried these things before, right? To rely on expertise from people who have gone out into their town or their city and maybe messed up and embarrassed themselves. And right, we can all learn from those stories and just keep getting better at it by working together.
And did you have a team for this project, or you met the team in Project Catalyst?
We're building the team right now. Yeah, as we work through Project Catalyst, it's really cool to be putting this team together.
So basically, anyone from the idea scale who is signed up can visit this proposal. I will actually leave the link under the video and say, hey, I want to be part of the team.
That's right. There's a Discord link on the proposal as well, so people can click that to join the Catalyst Discord community. You can find any proposal who's created a channel there, including Cardano starter kits, where you can come take a look and we can have a conversation.
Yeah, and probably the last thing to ask for this discussion is if, well, I hope this won't be the case, but if your project is not voted in this fund, are you going to apply like the next Fund 3?
I'm going to call John McAfee and ask him for some of his confiscated money and see if he can just share. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, that's the thing. Yes, I'm going to be sticking around. I think, honestly, I very specifically want to participate in the Catalyst funding, right? There's other ways out there to fund projects. Soon enough, anybody who wants to is going to be able to tokenize their business idea and seek funding that way on Cardano, right? There's lots of ways to get a little startup money for an idea. I want to be held accountable to the Catalyst community, right? And I so deeply believe in this method, this messy democratic governance of funds has implications way beyond the work that we're doing right now. And if we can show how to do it successfully, we're going to have a pretty compelling story to share with the world about what we can do. So yeah, I'll be sticking around. I'm going to try to build this thing, whether funded or not.
It's really interesting to see how the voting will happen, because in Fund 1 voting, we only voted with our small group of like 50 people, or maybe around 20 something voted, because
that's right.
Some people abstained, some didn't get the app. And now we don't know if the people who are most active on the Catalyst and who are making comments, if they have like if they are whales or not. if they have influential friends in the who are whales or who are ADA holders for a long time, and we don't know it. I think, like in any case, it's very good for your proposal that you are very active in this community. So we see you. I've just recently saw that you are the top commentator among the top 10 commentators who contributed a lot of comments. With something is 66 or over 60 comments. And the last question to ask: are you going like to make some kind of campaign for your project? Maybe to get the votes? Or...
That's a good question. I know. What does that even entail? That's not my expertise. Do you know anybody who wants to join the team? But no, honestly, I don't have a plan for that yet. I'm so grateful for this chance to share this story, Andre. Thank you so much. This is what it's all about, right? But I am wary of living in a world where we are too quick to rely on old methods of getting ideas out there. I would be much more excited to know that people are showing up and participating in Catalyst via IdeaScale, and by making their own decision, rather than looking at marketing materials or something, by making their own decision, really thinking about the world they want to live in. So I know that's really idealistic, but at least for now, I would love to spend time building and spend time encouraging people to come participate in what's already here. So yeah, I guess if we're going to market anything, let's just market that IdeaScale is out there, and people need to be on there making up their own minds.
It's just like, I think it would be very interesting to observe how the people will vote and the results would be.
Oh, it's so interesting. It's to be here right now it's such a privilege that we get to see this all happen in real time.
Yeah, well, you started to, like, one more exciting idea is Project Catalyst Book Club, and we'll talk about it in a separate video.
Hey, all right.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Andre.